to his insightful session. We welcome you. Welcome, Swaminathan, sir. You may start your session now. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Professor Vibul, for inviting me as a part of this ATAL FDP. Today, I am going to discuss few things about what is medical device innovations and how to invent a medical device. First, we'll see what is medical device and innovation. It should be kind of a very unique presentation. Many of the guys already not having exposure. Especially engineering students or engineering people, they are fascinating about a vital sign monitor. If you take any college project, at least one or two guys they are having vital sign monitor, but the accuracy is immaterial. Just they will show some waveform in the GUI. So we thought that that is medical device, but there are beyond that there are plenty of things are there. Then there is a systematic way of inventing medical devices. Is there? Then definitely we will teach innovation, and at the same time we will avoid the failure. Normally, any startups, like 90% of companies are failing because of not having proper market survey and not forming good team member, not forming good process. So even for medical device, the failure rate is very high. It is around 95% of failure rate because medical device has another entity, the regulatory pathway, because we are intervened with human, and it's a very tough and getting the investor for medical device also it's not easy because for medical device prototype normal functional to alpha beta and device to market, it take roughly 3 to 7, even 10 years also. And then after FDA, that is also again take more time. So that's why for getting the investor also, it's quite tough. At the same time, if your device is solving certain problem, definitely one device is enough for the lifetime. We'll see how we'll do the innovation of medical devices in the upcoming slides. So what is medical device? How I can move this? Okay. What is medical device? A device or any instrument or apparatus, implant, software or system intended to diagnose, prevent, monitor, treat or alleviate disease condition or support, modify anatomy or physiology. So any device, it could be a diagnosis devices kind of EGC, ultrasonic, or any imaging tool or monitoring tool such as pulse monitor, patient monitor, and therapeutic tools and surgical tools, implantable, and SAMD, software as medical device. So software services also we can consider as medical device. We need to consider safety and risk control and reliability and accuracy. Accuracy matters a lot, and usability and evidence and document. So we need to do kind of need-based innovation system. We'll see that need-based innovation system, it will give better patient outcome. So scope of devices, it could be, it is in multiple form actually. It could be a hardware devices such as some instrument apparatus, machines, implements for directly used for patient care. Another is software alone, standalone software or embedded system driving medical functionality. Then various reagents, consumable for in vitro use, implants and other material interacting with body. So the medical devices, it's a comprises of hardware, software, or some consumables. So intended use and target. So manufacturer intent as well as the one thing is we need to be careful. We are inventing something, designing something. It must be intended to use for medical purpose. So medical purpose, definitely we are going to use into the human application. So then if we are using into the humans, then regulatory pathway is a crucial role. It is very, very important. And specific medical purpose, there are two things, disease management, you can diagnose or prevent or monitor, prediction, and various treatment and for elevation of diseases or injury or disability related uh, medical needs. So also include various investigation, replacement or modification of anatomy or physiological process and prosthetics. Many things are come under the medical devices. So these are the different medical devices. There are plenty of the things. Even doctor without medical device is nothing. So if you take any simple syringe to the MRI scanner and splint, and there are various all the devices which is invented by the invented or without help of engineers, it is not feasible. Some of the device may be invented by doctor, but if it is come as a device, definitely there is a large scope for engineering. So in vitro, beyond direct contact, then in vitro also under medical devices, it is especially include some reagent for in vitro use. These are used for some diagnostic test or collecting some blood sample or sperm sample to do the diagnosis. So this is also come under the medical devices. So regulatory compliance, it's very, very important. So we need to correctly identify the medical device belongs to what kind of. It is implant or minimally invasive or whether you need to give, it's under drug or anything. So it is very, very important to ensuring the regulatory compliance and patient safety and as well as the market access. We'll see. So these are about the medical device. What is innovation? So innovation, which is nothing but adding something new on the top of existing or something blue sky, you are inventing some pure new things. So it need to add some value which is already existed. You are adding some value to the existing things or new things. So types of innovation, you need to innovate a new product or new workflow or new technology or new cost model. Maybe you can play with business model also. It need to be balanced. Here our faculty members are failed and it need to give impact, scalability, safety, evidence and adoption. All the things are coming. You need to think of. Actually, this is one of the very good slide. Actually, innovation is the process of creating value by applying novel solution to a meaningful problem. So the meaningful is very important. Many of the professor, they are writing the paper. Some XYZ already done something kind of the like say if it is embedded system or VLSI or anything, they reduce the power or increase the speed. Whether it is, does it require or not? Simply some XY author they already done and they are doing the further research. If that kind of things they have novelty and solution, it is termed as invention. It is not innovation. At the same time, another thing is something new and it is adding the value, but there is no solution for anything like art and everything. It is coming under this form. Another one. Another one is it is creating the value for a solution for a problem. So then that kind of things are called as a optimization. So while doing the innovation process, you need to ask a few questions. Whether is it novel, new thing, pure new from the scratch or something it is already available we are adopting. Another one is does it solve a meaningful problem? It is very, very important, meaningful problem. So whether it is solving any meaningful problem, that is another one. Another one is does it create value? That is, it should be, it is having some, is one minute. F5. Zoom la தான் இருக்கு. Zoom, yeah, it's there. F5 தானே? காணுங்க. Connection issue. Wait a minute. Connection issue or hello. Oh, yeah, are you able to see my screen?
Yes, sir. We can see your screen.
No,
Yeah.
sir,
Now,
not
now,
zero.
now. Now your screen is visible, sir.
Okay, sorry, there is some issue with
No
my net.
problem, sir. No problem.
Okay. The one thing we are missing, does it create value? All the academician, we never bother about. Due to NRF ranking, we are applying so many patents. If you go to any colleges, hundreds of patents. If you ask how much amount you generated in terms of royalty, what is the utility? Nothing. There is no answer. So nowadays the teaching is very challenging. Yeah, all the faculty members I am requesting just to do some innovation and do the patent. It should be very meaningful as well as it need to create the value. That is very, very important. Otherwise, it is not useful or definitely it's very, very challenging nowadays. At the same time, nowadays drafting patent and everything, because many of the people like us, we are from native speaker. Earlier we struggle for English. Nowadays, using AI tools or ChatGPT, everything. What do you think? Just you need to do some typing, and definitely it will generate. We can make use of it. All the AI tools. Don't hesitate to use the AI tools for increasing the productivity. So this is where we studied the fellowship, and this is one of the successful school. I told the 5% of success, 95% of failure. But in SIB, School of International Biodesign, every year they are calling like two batches. Sometimes from two batches, three companies emerge from the two batches. So the success rate is around 110 and 130 because they are doing step by step how to invent the things. So we will see what it is. So this is the recent MedTech Summit happened in Delhi Habitat Center. And go to School of Biodesign.in, and the application they are calling for January. So any PG or medicine paramedic guys, they are eligible to apply. They are giving very good stipend, and it is for 2 years. Definitely you come with a patent as well as kind of startup entrepreneur. So these slides or figures I am following these three books. Biodesign, it's a blog book. Even this is our reference book, but I never read a single page from this book, but we did all the work based on this book only. So we have a very good mentor, Dr. Prasan Jha. He is now in King's University, London. And another one, Inventing Medical Devices, a Perspective from India, Dr. Jagdish Chaturvedi. This is very good book. Even you can read it in a single sitting. And the second book is already available, Medical Device Innovation Handbook. So they explain each and everything very well. These three books are more than sufficient. And I think Professor Ravi from IIT Delhi also released one book, Innovation Medical Devices or something. That book also good. And these are our fellows, I think taken in 2016. So to invent the medical devices, you need to have passion. So that is very important. So somebody is doing XY device, you don't do that. So you need to have inherently passionate about not only medical devices, for anything you want to do it, you need to have enough passion about that. And another one is this is one of the video. This is Mr. Muruganandam Arunachalam. Have you watched Padman? That movie is inspired by his story. So this guy, he is eighth passed out, and he invented the sanitary napkin making machine. And he asked us the question. So I am little educated. So you people are like surplus educated. So I am inventing. Then why don't you like that? He asked. So this meeting with the Bill Gates.
Than they are right now.
Great. So Arun, I'm sure that you're a role model for others. How do you think about passing that along? You've given us some of the lessons and the pearls you've used along the way. Do others come to you for advice or counsel as to how to be a successful innovator themselves? And how do you think about teaching others to be able to do what you've accomplished?
So in my perspective, the educated people across the globe, they are using their education just as a tool to survive. There's a blunder is happening. See, I'm classifying the whole world people into three: uneducated, little educated, surplus educated. Okay, that's whatever you are studying. See, with a little education, if a person able to do it, so what you are going to do with the surplus education? So that's what is happening. The moment you come out from any institute, you are looking for an opportunity. That's what a stupidness happening everywhere. There is no opportunity for 8 billion people around the globe. So what I'm teaching for my younger generation, where I'm going for a guest lecturer. Now this school dropout is a guest lecturer, including for your Harvard. I spoke in Harvard, in Stanford, and so what I'm teaching there, don't look for an opportunity. It is not lying anywhere in open. So now opportunities are lying in the form of problems. So took a problem, address with your surplus knowledge, come out a solution, become a solution provider. So there is a space for every citizen if you try to become a solution provider. So don't look for opportunity. Don't use your education just to survive. Use your education to something transform the world, to do innovative. That's all.
That's beautifully said. Thank you.
Yeah, actually, the thing is, the essence is very clear. Like, don't look for the opportunity, look for any problem. You need to provide the solution with your surplus knowledge. So we need to have an iron problem. So India is the biggest country, around 1.5 billion population. There are plenty of problems are there. You can take any problem. And, we need to find some, you try to provide the solution, the way of inventing any new thing. So one is the you need to be very passionate. Another one is the people is very, very important. The people, this is our team actually. Dr. Balram Bhargav is our mentor, is ex-ICMR DG. We are around 8 fellows. These are the entire team of School of International Biodesign. So this year, one happy news, like they want to increase the number of fellowship from 8 to 25. They are planning around 8 teams. So better if anybody interested, you can apply just to visit School of International Biodesign, AIMS. So the people is very important. So this we have two team and one from overseas, like from Australia, Adrian and Saira Rasdi, and remaining people. The people are different background. So I am engineering background, and another guy again engineering biomedical. We have Dr. Chida and Dr. Sachin Goyal, and there are product designer like that. So the team is mixture of many people. They are having the complement skill. That is very, very essential. If you want to form a team, if you form a team with another guy, he is having the same set of skill set. It is not needed actually. because you are able to do the things, the same thing your partner are so going to do, then what is the thing, what is the need of two members? You need to identify some person, especially who is having complement skill, which you will not able to do it. So that way you need to form the team. So forming team is very crucial. And nowadays, especially for professor community, if they are doing some work they want to do independently, you can see like filing patent or filing or submitting any paper. They want to become kind of the first of the competition, this and that, everything arise. At the same time, if you want to scale up any entrepreneurship journey, you need to form a team. A single person, they cannot able to do the things. They will do the things, but it is very tough to scale up. Especially engineers, if you are having electronic side, but we never bother about mechanical side, how important it is. The product design or device ergonomics that play a vital role, because customer will buy the product by see the wrapper first, then the functionality next. So the mechanical product design engineer is very important for medical devices, as well as some guys who is having drafting business plan, managing the customer, the marketing, and even HR kind of MBA student is another essential key player for a team. So this is our team: Sachin, Goyal, Adrin, and Pratik, and it's me. Then Sachin is a ENT specialist, and Adrin is a bioengineering student, and Pratik bio design. So a biomedical student. I am electronics background. So we four members having a different skill set, and we invented the device. So this is our recent MedTech Summit happened. Just visit School of Biodesign.in. In that all the informations are available. So unfortunately, our photo is not available in our 2016 batch. They didn't update it. So the people means it is not only the team members, the entire stakeholder, you need to take more care. Suppose you are inventing on medical devices, who is going to use doctor and nurse and then other stakeholder, a patient, including the guy who is in the hospital cleaning, all the guys you need to address. At the same time, if you form the team consists of a product designer, some one or two engineers, management graduates, and advisors and mentors. And especially we need a doctor. So they only know the disease condition, all the complications, and investor granting body. There are many things. So entrepreneurship journey, it is not only a one person or within the team. So entire ecosystem, you need to have very good people, then only it is possible to form a successful startup. So this is another product. This product is called BioScoop. So they are doing the liver biopsy. It is very tough to get the tissues from the liver, and like collecting biopsy itself look like it's a kind of mini surgery. So they will not able to directly go to the office. So Mr. Siraj Bhagwan and his team invented this device, which is called BioScoop. So this device, what it will do, it need to just prick the muscles, and it will go to till the liver and collect the tissue sample. While coming out, it need to seal the opening. So we'll see. So this is they are collecting the sample. Then there is a needle. It is kind of ice cube. That's why this is called as a bioscope. So they are pressing. Then they are collecting the tissue samples. And there is a collection container in the back end, and the handle has a lot of electronics, even Wi-Fi, all the things. So even they know who is doing this work and everything. So this thing, they change the dimension kind of, instead of going big hospital for performing the biopsy, then they just converted as a table-based procedure. So the same day the patient will go for work. So this is another work, and there are plenty of devices, but inventing. So one is passionate, another people, then third one is the product. So you need to have innovative product, it need to solve some problem for the people. That is very, very important. So this is one among, and another one product, this is another interested, it is in Stanford University, Dr. Hasheth and Debayan Saga, they invented using popsicle stick, they invented a anchoring device for pacemaker.
You have to go down the frugal route. The natural flavor in us came out, and it came out in the form of a popsicle stick and spring.
The Stanford India Biodesign Program is a collaborative effort from US government and Indian government to develop science and technology in both these countries. You start with a problem. First, make sure there is a problem, and if that is solved, that will generate some revenue, and that will be accepted in markets.
You go into a clinical environment. It could be an operating room. It could be the clinics, and observe physicians. If a physician does a procedure twice over, or he struggles with a certain procedure, that's an unmet need. And finally, you choose your top need and top concept, and then you start prototyping solutions. Our need took shape when we saw pacemaker implantation. The physician struggled to put the pacemaker lead into the heart muscle. The need was a reliable way to detect the mechanical anchorage of pacemaker leads in patients with pacemaker. Hitting a nail, we can somehow measure the force that the physician is exerting in the process of screwing the lead inside the myocardia. We'll give him a feedback of how well the lead was anchored. And to solve that, we use a spring and two popsicle sticks. So we use these popsicle sticks in the spring in the middle, attached it to the fixation tool, which is used to screw out the lead. We had a scale which measures the compression of the spring, and at a particular value or a range of values, it shows that the screw has gone out into the myocardium. When we did an analysis of actually manufacturing the product, even if it would be a very large scale manufacturing, would be still less than $10. The issue at hand was really big. The specific need had a huge complication. But to solve it, you may not need those high-tech electronic gadgets or the next generation of algorithms.
Yeah, here they invented the anchoring device
For more,
for
please visit us at Stanford.
anchoring the pacemaker at the right place. But the thing is, if we are doing like always, we are fascinated about kind of, if it is medical devices, we need to, it is very costly. We need to have more and more like electronics and everything. But they are dealing with the heart disease, but they use few popsicle stick and within less than $5. So that is called frugal innovation. Without degrading the quality, we need to give low cost solution. Another one is this is another one, a very good example. Actually, there is a water scarcity issues in many places in India. This is enough to take more time. Okay. So
the hippo roller. It can carry 5.
So here it's around 50 liter of can, and just the can will act as a wheel for transport. So still in India the scarcity issues are there. So this the can which serves two purpose. It is served as a container as well as the wheel, and easy. It is easy to move. So that way we need to look for the solution, and we usually go with this biodesign process during our program. So that was designed by the Pauli of Stanford University. So there are three things. One is identify, invent, and implement. So you need to identify the problem, and you need to invent, provide the solution, and finally you need to implement to keep into the market. During identification, we need to find the need finding. During need finding, we will do the observation and need statement writing. I will tell how to write the need statement and filtering the specification. So based on the disease state, market analysis, competition, and we need to filter the need and write the specification. Then after from the specification, you need to brainstorm it and need to do the concept generation. Once a concept generation is done, you need to do the concept selection. So this need has this many solutions. So what are the feasible solutions that we will be able to implement? Then during the implement, they will do the IP strategy, regulatory strategy, competitive advantage. They need to talk to the various stakeholder, marketing strategy. Then after they need to do the development plan. So this is a systematic way of inventing medical devices to reduce the failure. This is you just type Stanford biodesign, and they have kind of e-book or some web pages. They explain each and every step in detail. So if you have product and innovation, then focus area is very important in medical devices. Around 50 plus departments are there. And if you want to invent something, you need to narrow down your department. That is very, so the medical devices area is huge. And without focusing the particular area, it is very tough. We, during our fellowship period, then we have chosen general surgery. Then from that, we invented a device. So focusing one area is always important. So after focusing area, you need to do the clinical immersion. And during the clinical immersion, so this is the backside of AIMS Hospital. So then during the clinical immersion, you need to go and visit the patient in the clinical setting, and you need to observe the things. So what is happening, and all the wards you need to visit, what are the problems exist, and you need to observe and do the observation, note down all the observation. And during the clinical immersion, you need to ask the question whether it is really a problem. You need to talk to the paramedics and doctor whether is it the problem or it is they are comfortable, and need to talk to the patients. And just during the immersion, you need to observe the things as a layman. Don't put your engineering mind or medicine mind, whatever maybe, just as a layman, you need to see what is going on during some procedure or some surgery, whatever maybe. So this is our, from this, we invented a device which is called short-lived. It is a minimally invasive medical device, a surgical device. So this is the procedure, I think AIMS 10th floor. Here there is a problem which is called hemorrhoid, the piles. So piles operation for to performing a conventional method called rubber band ligation technique. During that period, it's a very tiny area. Then they need to do parrectal examination, and they need to just this is a halogen lamp. This itself very costly, and they have the section, and this is the entire setup actually. So here this is a device. Device is not there actually. So this is a different device actually. This is device is not here. So he is keeping this device actually. So while performing this procedure, the hemorrhoid is nothing but there is a blood swelling in the anal canal, and it is unwanted tissue. We need to remove it. Otherwise, it will be painful while doing the passage. So we need to remove. There are different mechanisms, like they are doing the surgery or kind of laser surgery and everything. But the rubber band ligation technique is you need to apply a negative section. You need to catch the tissue, and you need to deploy the rubber band on the tissue, and there is no blood flow from the healthy tissue to this contaminated tissue. Then within 2-3 days, the hemorrhoid will drop during the passage. So this is a very well-known procedure, but for doing this procedure, one guy is handling the the halogen lamp, and another guy, he is doing the suction machine. It is very tough to predict whether what strength of the suction machine, the suction pressure, and sometimes they misplaced the rubber band instead of the damaged tissue, they deploy in the normal tissue. So it is very painful actually. So if they deployed the rubber band in the normal area, definitely it is tough to remove. It gives a lot of complications. So we come up with a device which is called a short live. It's a single hand operated device. A single person is enough to perform the surgery. So as an engineering student, we never thought about this kind of problem exists. So the clinical immersion is the key for inventing the right medical devices. As engineering EC background, many of the guys, they are always doing the vital sign monitors or whatever may be, because this is easily available, various sensors and everything. Based on the sensors and board only, we decide what kind of project we are going to do. So it is a wrong way actually. Based on the need, we need to design any medical devices. So during the clinical immersion, we observed, and which is written earlier, that time there is no ChatGPT, maybe some grammatical error may exist. So the observation and problem statement, these two are the foundation for the need statement. So observation, what we observed, like what are the things you observed, you need to write as a layman. Like here there is a 40 years old male with complaints of bleeding per rectal he came for rubber band ligation of internal hemorrhoids. The surgeon did a per rectal examination. First, per rectal examination, you need to search what is per rectal examination. Then he did proctoscopy by inserting a rigid steel proctoscopy lubricated with 2% lignosine jelly, which was painful for the patient, and there was some bleeding. The assistant was holding a fiber optic light cable to eliminate the area of anal canal. The surgeon then took the rubber band ligator with pieces of 14 number Foley catheter cut to be used as a rubber band and ligated through internal hemorrhoid and took the proctoscope out. There was some bleeding after removing the proctoscope, and then the patient was instructed to do sitz bath. You again will see what is sitz bath also, and take a lot of fibers and plenty of water. The used rubber band ligator was cleaned by using cotton gauze soaked in spirit to be used in the next patient. So there are a lot of issues. So this is our observation we had seen. And the problem statement is there is a difficulty in illumination. They are not clearly visualize the area of the anal canal with conventional proctoscopy, and the assistant must hold light source to illuminate the area, and also vision is poor with unaided eye without magnification of rubber band ligation, and procedure is painful. This is a problem. So with this problem, we come up with a need statement, a better way to treat hemorrhoid on an outpatient basis under continuous visualization and in any settings. So while framing the need statement, you need to be very clear what you are going to do, to whom you are going to do, what is the outcome. These three questions you need to answer well, then you can easily form the need statement. Actually, I tweaked many things, problem and everything, just to accommodate in a single slide. So observation, problem and need statement. Observation describe a singular event that innovator witnessed, what you are seeing during the clinical immersion. Then problem statement describes the recurring situation in which doubt or uncertainty or difficulty or it is taking more time, what are the difficulties the doctor or patient is facing. And observation and problem statement form the foundation for need statement. Identify the change in outcome that is required to address a given problem. For the particular problem, what is the solution and what is the outcome, we need to be very clear. And another one, observation and problem statement and need statement, it's a endotracheal tube, and we have two pipes actually. One is a foot pipe, another one is air pipe. While doing the intubation, they insert a tube. It should go to access the lungs. Sometimes, like this senior residence fellow, they're fresh graduate sometimes. They may insert the the intubation tube into the foot pipe instead of air pipe, like the pipe which is going to the lungs. So what happened? The patient, because after that they keep the patient in the surgical surgery theater, and they do the procedure. Some procedure may take 2 to 3 hours. So there is due to they misplace the tube, the lungs will not get sufficient oxygen. So patient may die. For that, they invented a device. We'll see what it is. Then here they observed a medical resident training struggle to intubate the patient in the emergency room, leading a drop in the patient O2 level. I tweaked this actually. It's a very big observation. Problem for the unskilled practitioner, the time required to place the endotracheal breathing tube in an emergency setting can impact the outcome of the patient. Then we need to frame the need statement. A way to reduce the time required for an unskilled medical practitioner to place the endotracheal tube in emergency setting. So first, what they can easily place the endotracheal tube. So that is one. And in any emergency setting, unskilled medical practitioner. So to whom you are going to do unskilled medical practitioner, and where you are going to do in any setting. So what is the outcome? Reduce the time required. So that way they invented, I forget the device name, sorry. Okay. Another one is this thing, the need-based innovation, the third device. I have the picture at the end, I will show it. So another one is very important. The need to address the clear and well-defined clinical problem. So another one need statement. This need statement worth more than 100 crores. I think they evaluated after getting FDA. They are doing well. A better way to manage fecal incontinence in non-ambulatory patient that improves clinical outcome and reduce the operating cost. So the problem, what is the problem? A better way to manage fecal incontinence to whom? In non-ambulatory patients, especially the patient, they already met some accident, or elderly people, they are not able to move. And why? That improve clinical outcome and reduce operating cost. What happened now? The fecal incontinence, like they have kind of pampers for elders, around 300 rupees or 400 rupees. Assume that a husband and wife, they are working together somewhere in IT, and elder people, they are not able to move, but they need to do all the passage. So then morning they wear the pampers, then evening they need to clean. It's very messy and it's very tough. It will create a lot of issues inside the family also. So for that, they come up with a very good solution. So while doing the need statement, framing the need statement, you need to address what is the problem, to whom you are going to do, why you are going to do. So these three things, problem, population, and outcome, these are very, very important. So the thing is, while doing the innovation, you need to write everything on the paper first. So while writing the things, it gives a lot more clarity. Then only it become easy. So if something is not relevant, definitely we will not write. So that's a good practice. What are the things you are observing? You need to write it down. And after writing that, you need to identify whether it is a problem or not. Then after you need to do what is the outcome. So this is another device which is called Cora. Everything video is big, like. So this is a kind of stool management
Introducing
device.
Quora, a suite of stool management kits for bedridden patients with fecal incontinence and diarrhea. Position the patient so that the anal canal is easily accessible. Holding the applicator in one hand, generously apply lubricant along the length of the applicator. With the patient in left lateral position, ensure the white portion of the applicator is pointed toward the coccyx of the patient. Insert the applicator into the anal canal until the white stopper touches the coccyx. Firmly hold the white stopper against the coccyx and gently withdraw the green applicator sleeve towards yourself. Now remove the white stopper. The device is now fully deployed in the rectum. The transit sheath is laid straight towards the foot of the bed. Ensure that there is an adequate amount of slack in the device. Excessive tension should never be applied to the device. The indwelling diverter conforms to the rectal wall, providing an excellent seal during use. The large lumen of the device allows varying consistency of stool to be collected. If a stool sample is required, open the sampling port cap and aspirate. Close the cap. Perform irrigation to clear the lumen and to facilitate easy transfer of fecal material. To irrigate the device, attach a Luer lock syringe filled with 20 to 30 milliliters saline solution and gradually depress the plunger. Secure the transit sheath near the patient's perineum with one hand and use 2 fingers of the dominant hand to drain any fecal matter into the collection bag. To exchange the bag, disengage the collection bag by carefully rotating the bag connector counterclockwise from the transit sheath connector. To add a fresh bag, mate the collection bag connector to the transit sheath connector and rotate clockwise until they lock together. The bag is provided with a flatulence release filter to prevent ballooning. To withdraw the device, firmly hold the Y connector with your hand and use your dominant hand to pull the white cap towards yourself until the white tether is taut. The indwelling diverter is now collapsed in the rectum. Slowly retrieve the device by holding the transit sheath close to the anatomy. Dispose the device according to institutional protocol. To know more,
this
visit
company
www.
earlier it is Contour Medical. Now the device name is Cora. Actually, they provide a very good solution, but this device is not available. Even though they manufactured in India, it is available in Europe and US. Because of the cost, actually, even for US, 60K to 80K is the nurse salary, but they will afford. But India, they will not afford it. There are a lot of people never hesitate to do patent infringement. That's why the team strategically take the decision. It is only for US or Europe or developed nations. So this is a way like, it's a very simple, like the solution is less than like $50. It won't just some plastic. So for inventing anything, we need to have step-by-step procedure. So we observed around 456 problem. From that, we need to screen one, and intuitively we need to see if you like, we kept, otherwise we removed that. Then after we did the impact market analysis, feasible outcome, feasibility, and what is the outcome. So based on that, again, we did the screening. Again, we need to we already talked to the physician, various stakeholder, and we did the more research on available article, and we further shrink into 50, then 50 to 15. And again, one other thing, team priority, whether it is feasible with our team and skill set. And finally, we end up with 3 and again 1. The one device is short-lived, and we are having the license for that. Maybe it takes another 1 or 2 years to come up. So while after doing the need filtration, you need to do the concept generation. While doing the concept, so this is a need. I have this number of feasible solution. What are the concepts are there? So this brainstorming is very, very important for innovation. And you need to defer the judgment, and 2-3 members are discussing. You need to encourage wild ideas. If somebody is telling something, you need to build on the top of it your idea. You need to focus what we are doing, and there are many things. At the same time, you need to quantify the number of concepts. So from that, you need to select. Again, concept selection is another procedure. So we have many number of needs. We have few needs, we need to select it. Then after you generate multiple concepts, from that you need to choose few concepts. That is very important. Few concepts, it is very technologically feasible. Many things we need to see. So while selecting the concept, you need to understand whether it is possible to do. So predicted efficacy, technical feasibility, and IP is there. There is no patent infringement, and regulatory pathway, You need to have clear market. If it is these scores are low, the risk is more. If these scores are very high, then rewarding is more. So then you need to pick that particular concept, move forward for the prototyping. So especially one thing we are missing, especially researcher, we are not doing the market analysis. We need to look, nowadays it is very easy to do the market analysis. Even ChatGPT also giving right number, various article and various market analysis books. We need to see that. Any devices there, you need to choose what is the total addressable market. That is very important. So how big the largest market is, and you need to see serviceable available market, what kind of portion of the market fits you. Another one is the serviceable obtainable market. So that is another one. Another one is EVG. Then what are the most potential customer or known people they will buy? So without answer for all these things, you will not start any, because if you are inventing anything, you want to become an entrepreneur, the revenue matters. Otherwise, you will not be able to run the team. So you need to think of how much, what is the size of the market in numbers. So the total market is say 1 billion. Serviceable available market is say some 5,000 crores, and obtainable 1,000 crores. Like that, you need to have the proper number, then we'll proceed. Another one is you need to do the patent, and so whether novelty, what is the inventive step, that is very important, and the utility, that is very, very important. So the patent, the Indian patent, first you need to do, or then we'll do the world patent. They have different route, USWO or PCT route. It is available. So you need to secure the patent. For filing the patent, you need to immediately, if idea emerge, you need to immediately do the provisional patent, and the priority date is on which date you did the provisional. Then after within 12 months, you need to submit the final patent. So then during submission the final patent, the simultaneously you will approach for the PCT route. So another one is prototype is very important. Sometimes engineers, they think that the prototype is sufficient to sell the market, but the device ergonomics and designing the enclosure that play a vital role. There are different type of prototype is there. Non-functional stage prototype using cardboard or any thermocol sheet. You need to cut and show the device how it look like to the investor, or it will be very helpful to explain the other people. And another thing is the POC, proof of concept stage. During that stage, any device or any invention, it is working as per the baseline mechanism intended for. So what are the basic essential thing which is working or not? Another one is alpha stage, and maybe we'll consider it is not bigger size. The POC doesn't require the size of the device, could be room size also, it doesn't matter, but the underlying mechanism should work. Alpha stage, you need to arrange anything kind of table or a small thing. It is not kind of final version. Maybe consider almost 80%. The beta stage almost 100%, and look for a device ergonomics, everything. Then final prototype product, then it will go to the approval and everything, it will come. Even these are other than that, there are different type of prototypes are there, and at least you need to have POC, alpha, beta. These prototypes are very important. And you need to plan for everything. You need to have clear project plan, business plan, especially for timeline, money, everything involved. So you need to have plan, and what is your revenue model? That is very, very key. So in what way you are going to do business, how you are getting the money from the customer, that's very important. And you have manufacturing and marketing plan. So without this plan, that device will not be shine in the market. Otherwise, it could be in the laboratory. And we'll do the SWOT analysis, need to identify what is our strength and weakness, what is the threat and opportunities. So you need to look for opportunity and what is the weakness. You need to improve that. If there is any threat, and in what way the threat is, whether highly risky or how to mitigate, those things you need to consider more. And while doing the business plan, before business plan, you need to do lean canvas. Many devices are already available. many web pages are already available. So you type lean canvas, it will go, it will give you a template. So you need to do what is the problem, what is the solution, what is the key activity measures, and what is your USP, unique value proposition or unique selling proposition, and then what is the unfair advantage, and channels, how to reach the customer, and what are the various customer segment, what are the cost structure, how much you are spending, and what is the income. So these things you need to clearly write down in each and every column with clear. Then this is sufficient to draft around 15 to 18 pages of detailed business plan. So this is very, very important. And what is the cost structure? What is the revenue stream? And we'll see that I am going to spend this much amount within 3 years. Within 5 years, how much I am generating? That is very, very important. So then you can proceed. Nowadays, there are a lot of funding options are there. Funding from various agencies. Nowadays, if you have like patented a product, even patent also it is offered by Patent Mitra by ICMR. If you have patent, just to submit in medical devices, you can do the entire reimbursement. Even they are helping you to get the patent, how to drafting and everything. So there are a lot of government funding as well as this other private investors are there. Actually, my advice is you need to choose some government funding because it will help you in many ways, especially for investor validation, and we will use the government ecosystem. Whatever may solely depends on, they will provide some space for roadshow and other things, but if we have to do ourselves. So that way, it's a plenty of things. If your technology is patentable, and you need to approach like biotechnology ignition grant, big grant, or various schemes are there. PRIB is there. Recently it went off. Similarly, you need to find some funding agencies, either government or angel investor. You need to approach them. You need to have a pitch deck. You need to talk to them. So the ecosystem is very, very important, and ecosystem consists of various advisors, mentors. You need to associate with various university, colleges, and some support organization, investor, funding organization, various research organization and service provider, and specialist for the particular medical device. Even IIT Madras Research Park and even IIT Delhi, every IIT has, and IIT Delhi, Madras, and Science, even IIT Kharagpur, they are doing that. Many private colleges, they are having incubation center. I'm not sure how they are functioning, how many devices that are coming. So these are very well known, but other guys also, they are trying hard to bring more the product from their knowledge park or incubation centers. Another one pitfall is medical device regulation. So because we are intervened with the human being, so you need to do the approval from the medical authority. In India, CDSCO or US, you need to go for FDA approval at Europe CE mark. So these things are very important. Suppose in case you are using some device which is used for performing surgery or anything, it is very much needed, and even that's why the clinical trial is very much needed for surgery, minimally invasive devices. They have clear rule what kind of class and what are the things you need to do. So apart from all the things, say people, patient, and product, the team, various plan, and the process. Compared to all, this thing is very important. The perseverance is the key for any product development. So you need to try and try again, try, fail, try, like that. You need to do it. So each and every failure, it will teach many lessons. Again, you need to try, and finally you need. So the consistency, perseverance is the key for entrepreneurial success. Otherwise, you will not be able to shine well. And you need to have passion, enough passion to wait till things get done, and you need to have more optimistic. If you fail, okay, it is fail. What? So what? You know, try for another. Don't do more like pessimistic in your mind. And so another one is like while doing in startup, you need to help each other, appreciate for right person, right work, and you need to project your team instead of the team lead, and ownership right for right steal, and don't steal the ownership, because many institutions you must mention some higher authority name, whether they are involved or not. You never encourage. If somebody involved, you need to mention their name, otherwise don't involve. And you need to have flattened hierarchy. So innovation work that way. If you are like kind of research head and this and that, it won't work. The people won't work. So what is the need of working for you? Like you are stealing my ideas and all the things. That's why you need to give the right authorization to the right person. And during the research, avoid religion, region, race, caste, gender, everything. So that will totally will get the disaster for any of the startup or anything. So while doing the medical device invention, it take 3 to 5 years. Sometime implantable device 3 to 10 years also. Imagine that how they invented pacemaker, how many years. Nowadays there are a lot of research is going on bionic heart and other things. So those kind of things, clinical trial and everything, it take years. R&D also will take years. So definitely 10 to 12 years. At the same time, convincing the investor is not easy, because investor, they want to quick money within 3 years or 2 years, even in 6 months. But medical devices, to bring those devices into the market, definitely if it is very good device, it take 3 to 5 years for clinical trial and everything. So the cost is structure, but it is not fixed for each and everything. It may change. So for POC, sometimes it may take less or high, and protect your IP and alpha prototype, and you need to do benchtop testing and beta prototype and clinical testing, and you need to do the human fact analysis, DFM, and regulatory pathway. It's again quite tough if you are going for FDA and everything's too much. Um, money is needed, and reimbursement. Another one is very important, reimbursement pathway. If you are inventing some device, say some surgery device, if you are performing the surgery and they need to reimburse, they will able to reimburse the money, otherwise they will not use your device. And manufacturing, various standard you need to look for, sterilization and package, marketing and distribution, and go to the market strategy. These things are here we have a lot of confusion in teaching. If you ask anybody like how much royalty you need, suppose you invented one device, you are going to the company, how much royalty you need. If you ask anybody, they may tell 50%, 60%, 70%, because whole thing I already invented. That it won't work. Maximum, if you're ready to market, go to the market product also, you will not able to claim 5 to 7%. If it is patent wise, 2% royalty, 1% royalty, like that. So that is another disaster in India, because we are not aware of what are the complications to move a product from a lab to market. It is very tough. So those things are we are not practiced so far. That is one other thing, because the academic to industry, the gap is always there. And for involving in medical device, you need to be very careful, do all the things very carefully, then only you will be able to do. So with this, I complete my presentation. And Frugal Innovation, India's Most Valued Resources, by Professor Balram Bhargava. The background, everything I used his slide background. And Inventing Medical Devices, a Perspective from India, Jagdish Chaturvedi. He is a ENT doctor, our senior fellow. And another one is Paul Yeo, Biodesign. It's a blog book for inventing medical devices by Cambridge University. ebiodesign.org. All the things are available. All the materials used in the slide, ebiodesign.org. And also visit biodesign.stanford.edu. You can see the various fellowship already available who are the fellows, how it is operating, and some figures I got it from bmj.com, Biomedical Journal, I think, where President Joy is the editor. It is time to, yeah, these are the other device, which is Naxino, Sohum, and a Hiker Limo. And this is a Contour Medical. I already shown this. And this is Broom, a way to assess fetal well-being during labor, resource consent setting to reduce the intrapartum stillbirth and neonatal death. And this is Bioscope. And another one is chest compressive device. This is Aku Feed. That is a device I already told. I need to change this slide to that. And unfortunately, my invention is not there. I try to show that. Yeah, we have the website. I don't think so whether it is updated or not. It is not updated. Okay, I will try. So, so this is the device which is called as short-lived, and this is the problem. Prevalence rate and the number of people affected. This is a thing. Usually the procedure is like that. Nowadays it is, they are doing like surgery and laser this is the rubber band ligation technique. And this is the problem. They need to do the per-rectal examination. Here, this area, like 2 or 3 members, they may used. And this, the POC, if you see, like, it's very thin. This is the underlying mechanism. So, tissue aspiration, ligation, and visualization. These 3 things we already, so this is I can mark it actually. We already bought some anal canal of a goat at Iron Market, Delhi. And we proved the visualization proof how it is going. Sorry, it is not coming. Actually, it is done some 10 years back. So this is the POC actually, proof of concept. So you need to do tissue aspiration, band deployment, and clear visualization done. So don't spend too much on this is a device. These are our mentors, Professor Anurag Srivastava, Balram Bhargava. This is our team. So it is a fully team driven, and so you need to do a lot of experiment and a lot of fail, and finally you will be able to do. So it is not moving. So just we insert a bow scope and we already proved. So that's it. Okay. Thank you all. And if there are any question, and I am happy to answer. Stop.
Yes, dear participants, if you have any question related to medical innovation devices, medical device innovation, you can ask. Dr. Swaminathan is still with us right now.
Very nice presentation, sir. I inspired from your lecture. So I don't have any question as such, but I want to know how to encourage our students, our biomedical engineering students.
Yeah, for medical device, see, first there are two things. For inventing medical devices, if you are doing theoretically, you will not able to do it actually. So you need to associate with any
They
of
are
the.
reading in their classes. Actually, in biomedical engineering courses, biomedical instruments are there, devices are there.
Yeah, yeah. Because everything is there, but the problem is with the hospital, na? Then we need to have associate with any of the hospital. University need to have an MOU with your department, and that the people doctors are very good, and they will encourage to you tell the motivation want to invent something, and just to do some 2 or 3 week clinical immersion, take the permission. Usually for visiting surgery, they used to ask money like 5K, 10K like that. But you find some doctors, but we witnessed around some more than 100 surgery actually. So that is one good thing about that fellowship. But definitely you need to have an advisor from medical field, either doctor and any small hospital. That is the thing. Otherwise, the people will not move beyond the vital scan, the like vital sign monitor. So that is where you need to have kind of mentor from medical field or advisors and associate with any of the private or government hospital. It is very easy. Just you approach few or three hospital, 2 or 3, definitely they will allow the student. And in that aspect, if you invent anything, definitely that could be awesome one.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yes, anybody else? If you want to talk to Dr. Swaminathan. Sir, your presentation was very nice on medical device innovation, and you have started with scope of devices and scope of innovation and the passion required for innovation. And the video that showed where a person was telling that if an illiterate can do innovation, why can't surplus educated people do solve some problems and just see the problems, and there is a lot of scope over there. And with live videos of Stanford and other interviews, it was very creative kind of lecture. And you also said that process need based innovations, and then you have to do some observation and then find problems, and then the need to do filtration of the problems and do brainstorming. And you can also, after doing such a solution, you can do patenting. And this is how medical device innovation can be done, and other innovations can also be done on the same pattern. So thank you very much, Dr. Swaminathan. So we are very pleased and we are very much privileged to have you at this point of time, where our participants have gained a lot from you. Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for the university and faculty member involved in that. And thank you all the participants for your patience. Thank you. Thank you all. Bye.
So dear participants, we shall be joining again at 7:30. So you have 10 minutes break, and you can have your tea or coffee or something, and we will be joining again at 7:30 exactly.
With our senior people, as well as a lot of our older populations, especially North America, Canada, US, India. As our population ages, we do notice Alzheimer's being a very big trouble. These are all the targeted drug therapies that are FDA cleared. You can see they had their phase 1 trials, and then before COVID, and then they moved into 2021 and 2024, they had their FDA clearances. So that's just showing, again, clinical data for Alzheimer's disease and targeted therapies there. You can also see the asthma side of it. So asthma prevention, there's some progress there as well when it comes to CRISPR and using gene therapy and targeted drugs. pretty sure as this field evolves, we'll watch it, especially since our AQI levels and air quality in India is affected, and other places in the world as well. In certain parts of Asia and Europe, we see a declining air quality on a day-to-day basis. So hopefully, a lot of these have an impact and can actually, help prevent some of these. Precision medicine can prevent some of these diseases that we come across. Hopefully, also alleviate. Moving on to something I personally work on, and that's targeted brain tumor therapy. So this is the current version. I'll also talk about the future developments and what I'm trying to work on with with the co-founder and with the other scientists as well as neurologists in the field. But specifically, we'll just go through a little bit here, just 30 seconds on the current state. So this is the current state of GammaTal. Basically, it's a radioactive targeted therapy. It's implanted right at where you need it. So that's the target part of it. Let's say if you have a tumor on the left frontal lobe, you're able to actually just dig out the tumor out. And once you get the tumor out and removed like that, you put and line up the whole cavity or the white space and you fill it up with the GammaTal. So make sure that your radiation is released only in the specific section where you need it. So even though this image looks enlarged, that cavity is really very small. We're talking, 2 centimeter gap. So think about it that way. It's this image, it makes it seem like it's super large, but that actual image is not to scale, and it's just showing the cavity, which is about a 2 centimeter, big circle. So hopefully that helps understand the impact of the area and the area that covers. This targeted treatment, in terms of scale, it is already nano. So that's how the smart healthcare side of it comes in. But the future of the product, I look at it as like saying like brachytherapy or brachytherapy seeds, the radioactive seeds that we put into, the bioabsorbable collagen mesh tile can be based on a chip. So where it can track like the movements inside and radiation over the leaking of its life cycle. So 10 days is what it takes for a tile to leak out and for the radiation to be targeted for the patient. So looking at how that would evolve in terms of how the patient is responding, get some of that data. So currently none of that exists. So that would be a future version that we are looking at for this specific targeted therapy case using AI and using, the tools when it comes to being able to track how the patient is responding and what kind of radiation they're seeing inside their brain. So that is something that we lack currently. We don't necessarily need any kind of vision here. It's because it's all controlled through, as you can tell, MRIs and X-rays. That's kind of what you see here. This image is an X-ray image, and the one on your left will be a more, detailed version, MRI version of your brain. So the last part of sort of the smart healthcare universe and ecosystem that we talk about, we'll cover it in a few minutes, is basically around the predictive healthcare modeling. I'll touch a little bit on the 3D printing side as well, and additive manufacturing as as something that I love talking about myself is 3D printing. But specifically predictive healthcare modeling, we spoke a little bit earlier on this, and the biggest companies that I know in the field are currently driving sort of the revolution on the EHR space. Epic Healthcare System is a big one. IBM Watson is a big one. But you kind of see how big this field is. So you have, the patient monitoring, you have the smart hospital infrastructure, you also have the wearables, the smart beds. So as you know, like these days, the beds can come up and down, and they can be temperature controlled, and they can be sunlight controlled. One of the companies I worked on in the past, about 7-8 years ago, we were designing the glass for the hospitals, and you were able to on an app, you can control the amount of sunlight coming in, and it was electrochromic glass, the same glass that is used in the airplanes, as well as the sunscreens in your car. Right, you have the sunshades in your car. That glass can actually tint, so it can control the amount of sunlight. So I was one of the very first engineers to work on the electrochromic glass field about 10 years ago, and a lot of the glass we made was going into hospitals, and a lot of the glass we were selling was going to hospitals along with airplanes and the aviation and airports, as well as some very high-end custom houses. But predominantly the hospital side was geared towards the customer experience. A lot of patients, how they have the comfort to be able to control glare and heat and sunlight. And the ability for a patient to feel like they're not just sitting inside a hospital, room or an operating room, they're able to see the nature outside. So the psychological impact of being in tune with nature, or in tune with, when you're in a hospital, like see the outside world through a window, that is a very big thing. And so believe it or not, some of those smart tinting window glass panes can make a very big difference. So that's kind of where the smart beds, the wearables, the smart glass, controlling the sunlight coming into the hospitals, that plays a major impact. We also obviously have the remote monitoring, so we talked about that, the patient monitoring. And then the RFID tracking, just to have your workforce organized and track, in terms of how much time they're spending in a specific space or specific treatment, and, how your staff is responding, how much time it takes for them to respond, things like that. So we talked about all of this. It's just on the equipment side. So, you have the preventive maintenance of PM side of the actual equipment that goes into, being able to handle a controlled environment like a hospital. So the air conditioning, heating, HVAC system, lighting, these matter a lot. So the smart controls around that. So you can see 3D printing here as well as the next generation healthcare technology. So this is just an outlier in terms of what is coming, what we consistently see. The VR and AR applications, I know everybody's talked about it, the other speakers, as well as some of the students who asked the questions. That's geared more towards, again, training a lot of these hardwares and robotics side of it. The 3D printing, especially I can tell you in the field of radiation, brachytherapy, a lot of 3D printed applicators. So they do it on the high dose side. So I've actually read some very interesting papers on this, and I've seen it in the industry when it comes to cancer treatment specifically. But they actually make the applicator, they 3D print it on the day of the surgery, and then they put the basically the radioactive seeds through that applicator. Sometimes it's a needle, sometimes it's a implant going through a catheter. It could be different ways of sometimes a suture that you're able to do that with. So it just depends on the application, but the applicators themselves, what I call the 3D printed applicators, they could be, in the form of a needle or in the form of a custom pipe designed to go down into a specific part of the body where the cancer has to be treated. So that's an amazing field that's moved quite a bit. I myself use a 3D printer for some other things, but it's actually amazing to see, the amount of impact it's had in cancer treatment specifically. Moving on to blockchain, security. So we'll have this is on the E sort of electronic records. So the patient handling records, the electronic health records. So like the EHR, patient side of it. So you can see having that security, and this is mostly predominantly because of the amount of confidential data and HIPAA. If you've heard about HIPAA, it's a compliance act in the health industry for data. So that's kind of where that steps in, and hopefully that we are already seeing results where it helps, but also as a field it's very scattered because HIPAA compliance can be different for a lot of places. So I think that's where blockchain kind of can also step in and help out. We talk about AI accelerated drug discovery. So we all know that being able to have these algorithms see sort of where drugs are performing better can help with the amount of time it takes to go through FDA clearances and clinical trials on these targeted drug therapies. So that's also pretty amazing to see that. And then obviously, I want you to also think about the documentation side. So last but not the least, when we think about all the AI systems, we all know nobody likes paperwork. Sometimes when you get admitted to a hospital, think that it takes so much time to fill out a form and only then you can get admitted. So it's very similar on the other side of the spectrum. The doctors and nurses, especially, for nurses, it takes so much time to do the paperwork. So it's absolutely amazing to see that the field of AI like come into, and then electronic health records, being able to automate that through AI transcription softwares, and even when you have a medical interview, like transcription can be very, very long. So that's where the voice recognition for note entry comes into play. So yeah, just to kind of give you an overall overview and conclusion, what we notice in the field today is like, the robotic side, there's 12 million plus procedures performed by Intuitive Surgical. That's been absolutely amazing. The AI imaging is, obviously going really well. That side of the business has, as you know, revolutionized the way and the speed of treatments and the speed of diagnosis by counts. Then we have the CRISPR genomics, which is absolutely amazing and recent and increasing in the way genome editing is happening. I don't know that much about that field, so I'll kind of stick a little bit less onto CRISPR therapy. But in terms of the targeted drug delivery and therapies, personally, I am working on the radiation and the cancer treatment side. So that's amazing to see that field evolve as well. And hopefully, when we go to more smart radioactive seeds in the future, we'll see more data convergence and more patient outcomes improve. Then we have the predictive analytics space. I talked about, a couple different applications. One of the, or two of the big companies that I know of is Epic, and then IBM's Watson system that's, integrated with GE Healthcare, if you've heard of that. That's a big, industry-wide application that we're seeing. In terms of the future of the healthcare is now. So I absolutely think that we are, increasing day by day in terms of adoption, and hopefully, we see this adoption come online in the next few years, completely geared towards the constraints that we see in the field around medical imaging, around robotics and the impact of intuitive surgical robots and the impact of camera and vision AI and training, in terms of the impact of the predictive analytics and seeing where certain segments of the population are struggling when it comes to nutrition, or they have more sickle cell or some other diseases. So being able to model and predict that. So yeah, the future of healthcare is now, and hopefully we are headed towards even a more connected and smart and efficient future where we can tackle, shortages around technicians, radiologists, doctors, surgeons, different kind of labor shortages that we see in different parts of the world, in India and US and Canada and Europe as our population ages. I will take any questions, and I will leave my contact details as well. But it was a pleasure telling you a little bit about the different impacts, the 3D printing, the AI vision, the robotics, intuitive surgical, Da Vinci robot system. So hopefully you enjoyed learning a little bit of the diversity side of where some of these fields are going in the future. But would love to answer any questions, especially, if it's drug therapy or targeted, impacts, cancer treatments, all of that. So
Yes,
go
dear
ahead and ask.
participants, if you have any questions, queries, or you want to talk to Mr. Angadbir Singh Sabherwal, you can talk. He's right now present with us.
Thank
We
you
got
so
a
much, sir.
quiet
It's really a
audience there.
useful session.
Yeah, thank you, Harpreet. How are you doing?
Good, sir.
What is your question?
Yeah. How is about your side, sir?
All good, all good. It's Friday, just getting ready for the
Yeah,
day.
so weekend is there.
Yes.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for this wonderful session.
Sir, from on the part of organizing team, I am very grateful to you for talking to us regarding the future of healthcare, robotic surgery revolution. You have talked about technologies shaping the future of surgery, and you have talked about the automated pattern recognition companies that are transforming medical imaging and the precision medicine and targeted therapies and the next gen of healthcare and technologies and the convergence of technology and medicine, and the future is here. So thank you very much, Dr. Mr. Angadbir Singh Sabherwal ji, for a very nice lecture. Since you have joined with us from USA in the very early part of the morning, thank you very much to you for joining and for detailing us about the future of healthcare. So, dear participants, if you have any queries, I don't suppose that they have any queries or questions.
Yep. If
So,
you have any questions, you can also reach out to me later. I've dropped my, my particular contact information, and yeah, let me know if there's specific questions I see a question in the chat around how it can be simplified further. I think that's where we see a lot of the AI applications geared towards, specifically like, let's say, breast cancer screening, specifically, let's say, like brain tumor screening. So they're all kind of building their models to be separate. So MRI, CT, X-ray. So think of it, mammography, different sort of applications and impacts of that specific company. It's just focusing on one single target, like to try to solve one single problem. So that would be, X-ray reading or radiation readings through MRIs or something like that, to answer your question directly.
Sir,
No other-
please accept the request we have sent on the LinkedIn so that we can talk later regarding any problem.
Yeah, absolutely. Feel free to reach out to me, especially when it comes to, targeted cancer therapies. I kind of dabble a little bit into that field, so try to keep up with robotics and cancer.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
100%.
Thank you so much, sir. You made us our day.
Well, I hope you have a nice weekend ahead too.
Yeah, sure, sir.
Any other questions, anyone I can help answer? We got some time. Okay, well, I wanted to thank Dr. Whipple and thank you, Prep Kiran, as well. And thank you everybody on the call for having me here to be able to share thoughts on the future of healthcare with my background in cancer treatments. I really appreciate it, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend ahead. I know it's been an amazing week from all the different lectures and speakers talking about different kinds of medical impact in the field of AI and healthcare coming together. So I hope you have a wonderful weekend ahead. I hope you had an amazing week. It sounds like it. When we started the session, you were talking about how this week has been. So I wish you all the best.
Thank you very much, Angad sir. Thank you so much for joining to so many participants from most of the parts of India. So we have a very diverse audience. So thank you very much for detailing each and every point in this emerging trends in healthcare and medtech. So thank you very much, sir.
Absolutely, my pleasure. Thank you, everybody. Sat Sri Akal, and take care. Have a wonderful weekend ahead.
Thank you, sir.
sir.
Hello, madam. Am I audible, madam? Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes.
गुड इवनिंग मैडम मैडम
Yes, sir.
वो कल टेस्ट का असेसमेंट के बारे में थोड़ा
Yes,
information
sir. We have assessment tomorrow. तो उसका टाइम जो हमने रखा है that we have set as 6:30 as per the schedule, and
जी
you have to attempt the assessment from your portal, Atal portal.
जी सर सर
Okay.
कितना क्वेश्चन टाइम कितना रहता है
उसमें उसमें सर बाय डिफॉल्ट ही उनकी तरफ से अटल की तरफ से देर आर मिनिमम 20 क्वेश्चंस, जो 20 क्वेश्चंस हमें उससे ज़्यादा हम कर सकते हैं, पर मैंने ज़्यादा नहीं किए. वी हैव सेट मिनिमम टेस्ट जो है 20 क्वेश्चंस, और
जी सर
टाइमिंग इज 30 मिनट्स यू कैन टेक, है ना.
जी
तो टेस्ट यू कैन अटेम्प्ट टेस्ट ओनली इन द पोर्टल. तो
जी सर
ओके, दिस प्लीज मेक श्योर ऑफ दिस थिंग कि कोई ऐसा गूगल फॉर्म या ऐसा कुछ नहीं आएगा, क्योंकि
जी सर
पहले पुराने टाइमों में ऐसा होता था कि आप गूगल फॉर्म जो था वो ग्रुप में या चैट बॉक्स में शेयर किया जाता था पुराने अटल के जो टाइम होते थे. पर अभी
जी
आई हैव
सर
जस्ट सीन टुडे, आई हैव सीन कि उसमें उन्होंने कुछ जो एक मॉड्यूल बनाया हुआ है पूरा अटल में पोर्टल में. तो पार्टिसिपेंट कैन अटेम्प्ट पेपर इन दैट पोर्टल ओनली, और वहां पे आपको एक फीडबैक भी देनी होगी, बिकॉज आई हैव नॉट सीन द पार्टिसिपेंट पोर्टल की उसमें कैसी ऑप्शंस आ रही हैं, क्या आ रही हैं.
Also,
यू हैव टू सी कि कैसी ऑप्शंस उसमें हैं, एंड
just
यू कैन अटेम्प्ट. अगर फिर भी कोई प्रॉब्लम आएगी यू कैन कल के दिन, बिकॉज अभी एडमिन राइट्स वी हैव सेट कि हम ही उसमें ग्रुप में पोस्ट कर सकें, क्योंकि कुछ पार्टिसिपेंट्स की यही रिक्वेस्ट थी कि उसमें अननेसेसरली काफ़ी लोग मैसेज डालते जा रहे हैं और हम मिस करते जा रहे हैं जो इंपॉर्टेंट मैसेजेस हैं. तो
जी
इसीलिए
सर
मैंने ग्रुप में ये कंडीशन रखी हुई थी कि अगर किसी को कोई प्रॉब्लम है ही कैन डायरेक्टली मैसेज टू मी और प्रॉपकिन मैम ऑल्सो, किसी को भी मैसेज कर सकते हैं, बिकॉज बोथ आर द ग्रुप एडमिन्स. तो कल के दिन
सर मुझे पूछना था सर, जैसे अभी चैट बॉक्स में अटेंडेंस
हाँ जी जी.
देते हैं वैसे ही अटेंडेंस मतलब चैट बॉक्स में कल आएगा ना वो?
हाँ, कल भी वैसे ही आएगा मैम, कल भी वैसे ही आएगा। एंड क्वेश्चंस आर वेरी सिंपल, जो आपने अभी किए हैं, जो भी आपको बताया गया है लेक्चर्स में, सिंपल क्वेश्चंस हैं। कोई ऐसा क्वेश्चन नहीं है कि बहुत डिफिकल्ट होगा जो आपको पता ही नहीं होगा। और द क्वेश्चंस आर एमसीक्यू बेस्ड, 4
Okay.
ऑप्शंस, 1 इज करेक्ट ऑप्शन, टोटल 20 क्वेश्चंस। और